Most business mentors hide away their best strategies behind sales pages and checkout cards. That's not the case for this video. In this video, you're about to unlock one of my valuable content modules that I use in the backend of my programs that I help to teach clients on how to scale to 20K per month and beyond. Why am I giving this away for free? Because I truly believe that if I provide you with enough value and you see the results of what I'm teaching in these modules, there will come a point where you're going to be needing support to actually implement these strategies, these processes to systematically scale your business. This is actually what I've done for many clients, such as Jasmine, who's at a 12K of revenue in the time of working together, Daphne, who just closed 5 clients in just under 7 days, or Noah, who 3x his investments. If you found value in this video, and if you're done with figuring things out yourself, then click on the link below and book in a call with me so I can see if I can be of service to you and can help you scale your business so you can actually start to create predictable revenue months and actually start to work on your business instead of in your business. Having that said, enjoy the video. So in this module, I'm going to be talking to you and teaching you the art of follow-ups. Now, it happens very, very often that we are in a conversation with a prospect and the person does not reply. And a lot of people already give up as soon as someone does not reply. And this is why I want to dedicate a full module to the part of follow-ups, because money really is in the follow-ups. And here I'm going to be teaching you different phases and different scripts when it comes to following up with your prospects in the DMs, so that you don't instantly give up as someone does not reply, but you're actually carrying and you want to continue the conversation, but in a non-spammy way. And this module will show you exactly how to do so. So yeah, you're in a conversation with a prospect, you have connected, have sent this person a connection request, or maybe you have already been talking for a week or a couple of days, maybe a few months, and the conversation drops dead and the person does not reply. So what do, right? A lot of people go wrong here and they go like, hello, are you there? I even had a person once DMing me. The person was DMing me and I did not reply for like 6 hours. And then the person directly wrote like, okay, so you're not interested. Or did I say something wrong, right? The trick here, it's really a mindset shift to not take it personally, to not let your ego come in between. That if a person doesn't reply, it's not about you. They're busy people. They probably have a ton of people in their inbox. And this is why if you will take the lead to actually continue the conversation in a human to human way without coming across spammy and push, you're just there to have the conversation with them and to offer value, right? This is where you can really stand out. And this is also your USP if you're doing quality over quantity, right? If you can spend that extra little time and attention on your prospect, this will really help you to separate you from the rest, which does not take that extra step and just maybe only sends out templated message or automated messages, or basically is just there to sell instantly within the first message, right? And you are in it for the long term. You're building long-term relationships and your USP is really to provide that extra attention, right? And this is also what we can beautifully do in the follow-up phases. So I've divided the follow-up phases in 3 different phases. I'll talk you through the chit-chat phase, the pain point phase, and the offering help, right? So those are in the 3 big chunks, the different phases you can be in a conversation with someone. Obviously, chit-chat, just like you're talking about the weather, you just connected, the conversation is new, then the conversation dropped dead. Or like you have already uncovered someone's pain point, someone has opened up to you, has been vulnerable, like, yes, my LinkedIn is not performing, or like I'm lacking sales, or my team is underperforming, or yes, I'm very stressed out, or yes, I'm having relationship issues, right? This is a huge step in the conversation that you're having with this person. They've opened up. And the third phase is like you have already offered help. You've given a freebie, you've suggested to plan in a call, and then the conversation drops dead. So different ways that we're going to be re-interacting again with the conversation. Now, there's different ways, different phases, and also obviously different methodologies and ways you can reignite the conversation. And some of my favorite ones are obviously like resending a text, sending a voice message. Voice message also works well because it triggers curiosity. Someone wants to like listen to what's in the voice message, so this works well. Commenting below their post, sending their own post to them. I'll show that to you in a minute how that works. Following up with them on WhatsApp. Even I can add here like GIFs, right? If you want to be, if you're a little bit more playful, a little bit more casual, you can send them some GIFs as well. So there's different ways. Be playful, be experimental with this. There's no, it's not written in stone how it should be done, as long as you don't push and as long as you're not very salesy and obnoxious, right? So the first phase, just to enter the first phase, it's the chit chat phase. You connected, you spoke a little bit like, hey, great profile. I saw this and this, and people accept it, but they haven't like really further engaged in the conversation. Maybe just a few messages back and forward. So you're in the early stage of the DM, and yeah, you don't have a lot of information about the lead or about their pain points. So what can you do, right? You don't know too much about them. So you can actually start gathering more information about them and their activities. I just saw your post, right? So you would, let's take Nicolette here. I see I am already connected to her. Yeah, first connection, right? So let's say I've sent her a connection request and she replied, but after that, not so much. So I could say, I could see here that she reposted some stuff. I could look at her post of today. I could go here, see she got a lot of great engagement, a lot of great comments, and thank you. Okay, so it's like making your audience feel seen. So I could go into the DMs and say, hey, Nicolette, I just saw your post. I really agree to what you're saying about making your audience feel seen. Like, how do you deal with this? How do you deal with this with so many followers and responses? Like, do you do this all yourself, or are you building it, or do you have a team? Right? Then we would already like kind of like bridge towards business. Yeah. So another one about the post. It's always good. You can either further go to their website, if you want. I'm not sure if she has a website here. Don't think so. No, I don't think she has a website, but if there's a website, often you can also find a lot of great stuff on their website. And you could maybe see, I once saw like a podcast there of a person, and I just listened to the podcast for a minute, and something that he said, I think he referred to like a book, which was a great opening for me, saying, hey, I listened to your podcast, and so awesome that you read this book as well. So you can take information from their website. Also here, an example about their website. So find different things about their profile, maybe like common interest, right? Also another thing. Maybe you've studied together in the same university, or you see different interests or something here, skills, recommendation, maybe common people that you both know, mutual connections. So different ways without being too much into business or into their pain points, where you can spark off the conversation with again. At the second phase, it's like you have already understood more about their pain points. Like you've continued, like you moved away from chit chat, you bridged to business, and now you found their pain points. They open up like, yes, my content is not performing. For instance, in my case, for my prospect, my content's not performing, or like I haven't generated any revenue. Or if it could be like, if you're a breathwork coach, like, yeah, I find a lot of stress within my work because I work 80 hours, right? So you haven't covered the pain points, and then the conversation drops that. So you know what they're dealing with. So this is actually where you can start offering help without selling your product. So you could say like, hey, I remember that like stress is a challenge for you. I came across something that might help and immediately thought of you. Do you have some time to discuss whether this would work for you? Or like, hey, I have a few ideas, or have you ever considered this and this, right? You're actually offering help to them. This is also where a freebie comes in nicely, saying, hey, I remember that you said this and this. would this be of service to you? I myself have a lot of freebies. So when someone actually speaks about their pain points, the other day I was speaking to a client who was dealing with overcoming objections when it comes to a partner. So if she was in a sales call, a lot of time the people that she was talking to mentioned that they had to like discuss this with their partner. And actually I had a document available about objection handling for overcoming the partner objection. So I came back into the conversation and told her like, hey, I have this document available. Would that be of value to you, right? So I'm solving a specific pain. So here you can think about the pain point and think about resources, tips, advice. Maybe you have some freebies or anything that you can help them specifically around their pain. Again, it's much about them, not much about your solution here. And then it's the offering help phase. So you have uncovered their pain points and you've offered to help, right? You've offered to hop on a call. You send them a freebie, but then it kind of like drops dead. So here you want to re-engage again and see if you can still be of value to them. So anything could be like, feel free to ask if you have any questions. Did you had a chance to look at the freebie? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Really curious what you think about what I sent over, or would that be something that could work for you? So more specifically about like the resources that you sent and the solution that you've offered. Can also be when you send your Calendly link, you suggested the call, but they have not planned it in. This often happens. People go like, yeah, I love to hop on a call. Really remind them here, because often like they forget, and I really like quickly follow up saying, hey, John, I see you haven't booked in a slot yet. Is there anything I can help you with? Or like, hey, were you able to find a suitable time? Or just wanted to follow up on the call that you're going to schedule. Have you found a slot in your calendar? I can also make myself available on other times if you want. This is the closest you're getting to your sales call. So here you really want to make sure that you're following up with them. So the third follow-up, right? I would usually send 2 messages in the DMs. And if they're then still not responsive, I would go over and like comment on their post for 2 to 3 times in the upcoming few days. So I'll become top of mind again. Then I can send them another DM about one of their topics from their posts. So what I could do here, and I love this one, this often works very well. I would go to her post. Let's say she's been ignoring me, or like she didn't reply to my messages, right? I could do send, and I could send it to Nicolette, and it would pop up in the DMs. And in the DMs, I can then say, hey, Nicolette, great post about blah, 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 and what you said about, people needing to feel seen. And then a question. People always love their own content. The ego loves that. So also in the DMing, I think we touched this in the other module, right? In the DMing, complimenting is always very well. It works always very well. And yeah, if you send their own content to them, people always like that because that's what they created. So that's a cool trick you can do as well. Yeah, if they're commenting on my comments, so let's say I would comment here below Nicolette and she would like follow up and reply to my comment. I'm assuming she would, because here in the post she's saying that she usually does, right? I can then continue the conversation again in the DM saying, hey, Nicolette, just continuing here again, and then pick it up from there. How often should you follow up? I stick to like 3 times. In my industry, 3 times, as in like coaching consultant industry. It can be that you're working with a different audience that maybe is more busy, where more follow-ups are required. But like you want to be careful to not be too spammy. So you need to find what the balance is for you. For my industry, it's about 3 times. If they then still do not reply, then I would list them in my CRM system to be followed up in like a couple of months' time. Yeah, after you've sent the freebie specifically, right, you can check in here like, hey, thanks again for requesting my freebie. Curious to know what valuable insights you've gathered from it. Or if they say like, hey, I didn't have any time to check your freebie. That often happens. I think like 85% of the people actually don't really watch your freebie if they request it on your post. If you send it to them in the DMs, often they do. So if it's very specific to them and they have a pain point and you suggest a free resource, then often people really watch it. If it's based on like a freebie post that you post on LinkedIn and people request it, people usually don't really watch it. But here you can go and follow up and ask like, hey, how come you specifically requested this freebie? Maybe I can share some quick tips that you can start using right away. So these are the ways to follow up. Again, it's a mindset thing that it's not about you, and you are here to serve your prospects. Get away of your ego and avoid being spammy with just like very plain pushy messages. The more you can personalize, the more you can see that you put in effort to actually like read their website, their post, then the better response rate you will get. Now, my tip, if we go here to LinkedIn, right, I use the start one here, where there's a lot of like good prospects. If I feel the conversation's heading in the right way, I've uncovered their pain points, I would start them. If I feel that they are not relevant, I would archive them here just to keep a clean inbox. The archiving, feel free to archive as many people as you want. If you feel they're not relevant, just archive. Like this keeps a very clean inbox. And like my pro tip, if you are as organized as I am, there's a CRM Excel sheet that I use, which I also share in one of the previous modules, where I keep track of all of my hot leads and the stages that they are in, and also specific notes and when to follow up. So if someone mentions like, hey, my launch is coming up in October, or I can see actually like when someone's birthday is, right? Let's go to this person. I'm not sure if I can see it here. Yeah, so I could see, oh no, wait, this is connected actually. Sometimes here, not for all people, you can see when their birthday is. So this is all that I will keep track of in the CRM system to then follow up even a few days before, not on the birthday itself, but maybe like a couple of days before, saying, hey, Noor, I see your birthday. I know that your birthday is coming up. Do you have anything nice planned? Another way of like following up with people, she will probably get a lot of like congratulation wishes on her birthday, because this is what would show up on LinkedIn. But if you're a couple days before the birthday, this would really stand out, right? So a CRM system can be just a simple Excel sheet. I don't recommend you like getting any expensive CRM systems such as Pipedrive if you're not dealing with a large quantity of leads. Just a simple CRM system as the Excel sheet that I shared with you works really well to keep nurturing your main leads and keep track of like which step and stage of the funnel that they are in. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with this. Remember, money is in the follow-up, and with these scripts, you should be good to go to keep engaging in the conversations and be not spammy.